Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about the actual cost for $20,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 66-year-old male. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these quarters on just about every page. Click on state and select what state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, and then put your birthday in there and fill out the rest of the info. Click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page where you see all the best insurance companies, and it will get you all the best rates that you qualify for, or certainly that you potentially qualify for. So it's a really great way to research some pricing and be an educated consumer. So take advantage of that. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and we'll be happy to look those numbers up for you as well. Now, the first thing you need to understand, if you're a 66-year-old male and you're looking at $20,000, is you got to know, is that an appropriate amount of protection? And in most cases, it probably would be, but let's dive into that a little bit. So if you're going to get cremated, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. And if you're going to have some sort of ceremony, like a remembrance ceremony or celebration of life ceremony, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500, including the cremation. So obviously $20,000 is enough there, but that's if you have a $20,000. Now, if you're looking for a brand new policy, we typically wouldn't recommend $20,000 if you're just looking at some sort of burial or cremation, I should say. And the reason is we just don't recommend people overinsure. Most of the people we help are on a fixed or a limited income, and they got to watch the dollars. So we would recommend just using this insurance to get exactly what you need, for whatever, you're searching for, in this case, cremation. And we don't recommend overinsuring. Don't get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 thinking you give money to the kids or something like that, unless you've got the financial means to do so. But most of the people we work with just don't have that kind of money, but they do want to take care of their most basic needs, and we can certainly help you out with that. If you need to start out at a smaller amount, we can always add more coverage later. No big deal. And if you're going to get buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So $20,000 would be enough. But, if money's tight and all you can afford is $10,000, get that right now. We can always help you add more coverage later. I can't imagine many places in the United States would, if you walked in with a $10,000 check, I can't imagine they wouldn't take it. It's hard to believe they would say no and let that money walk right down the street to one of their competitors. Just understand, $10,000 is not going to be a very fancy funeral, that's for sure. So, we would typically recommend for a 66-year-old, if you're planning to make 76 or 86 years old, look at something between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000. But again, get what you can afford. Can always add more coverage later. Now, one thing we do recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits, which is what we do here at Funeral Funds America with same day low cost approvals. So the reason first day coverage is so important is none of us knows if we're going to be here another 20 seconds or another 20 years. So first day coverage means that hypothetically, if you got your policy issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would pay out that death claim to your family, which is pretty cool. We don't recommend the 2-year waiting period plans because they don't pay anything in the first 2 years if it's a health or medical related cause of death. So I'll talk about that in a little bit more. Now, some people would say, I like the first day coverage, but I've got some health issues, and I know they ask health questions. To which we would say, hey, that's our responsibility. We work with enough different insurance companies. They've all got different underwriting requirements. And, we've got a 90 to 95% approval rate for first day coverage or benefits. So let us figure that out for you. Don't assume that you automatically assume you've got to go with the 2-year waiting period. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for a first day coverage is if you had some real significant health or medical issues, like you had a terminal illness and you were going to die in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or a nursing home. So it'd have to be something really significant. And if that were the case, we'd probably just refer you out to another company. And the other thing that happens, seems like on a weekly basis, is we get somebody that will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body is down at the funeral home. The funeral home director is not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance right now and get that check to the funeral home. To which we have to say, There's no insurance company in the United States right now that will offer or issue a policy on somebody who's already died. That's just not the way these plans work. It's absolutely terrible that somebody passed away. They knew they were going to die someday, and they didn't take care of this in advance. And now their family is really struggling, both financially and emotionally. And, do you want that to be your last memory? Just don't be that person. It's a terrible person to be. And everybody's going to think of you that way the rest of their lives. So, don't leave that legacy behind. Now, one thing we don't recommend, again, is the plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn's pretty well known. Their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. Did you know that? So Colonial Penn's just one of the companies that offers 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, they're United of Omaha, or AIG or Gerber. There's other companies out there, too, that only offer 2-year waiting period plans. And some of these companies have done a great job of convincing the American consumer, the American public, that if you're over age 50, the only thing you'll qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. And nothing could be further from the truth, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. So when somebody says that to us, we just go, you are so misinformed. Because again, we help people with first day coverage. So don't settle for that. Now, here we go. Male age 66. A lot of 66-year-old males would look at that TV commercial for $9.95, and they're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for only $9.95. And then they talk with somebody from Colonial Penn, or they get on their website like we are right here, and they find out that $9.95 for one unit is only $846 worth of coverage. That's not even enough for a cremation. I can't imagine pretty much anywhere in the United States. And even if it was, it wouldn't matter, because it's a 2-year waiting period plan, and it's not going to pay out a penny in life insurance death benefit in the next 2 years if you die of a health or medical reason. So why would you ever get a policy like $9.95 that basically does so little? It's just hard to imagine. So don't fall for a lot of this advertising you see, especially on TV. Now, the problem with Colonial Penn and their per unit pricing is they max out at 15 units. And you can't get $20,000 with them for a 66-year-old male. Let's take a look at what you can get with them for $15,000. You can only get $12,690, and that would be $150. But that's not $20,000, is it? Plus, you got the 2-year waiting period. So let's go see what $20,000 would be with first day covered. $20,000, male, age 66. Get quote. We're going to jump back here. Look at this again. This is $150 for right around $12,500. Look at this. You can get, I want to go back up here and show you. There's no tricks. $20,000. You can get $20,000 for $110, or you can get $12,690 for $150. Which one would you do? And so the Colonial Penn is so massively overpriced. Typically, it's around 200% higher. And you get the benefit of a 2-year waiting period, which is not a benefit. I'm joking there. And Colonial Penn will allow you to overpay on that policy for the rest of your life. So why would you do that? Why would you get a policy where every single month for the rest of your life, you're going to overpay? Why not just save your money? Because this is $150. This is $110. So that's $40 more a month. That'd be $480 more a year. That'd be, after 10 years, that'd be $4,800 more. And, this is the first day coverage is a $20,000 policy versus a $12,000. So it just makes no sense at all. You just need to be a smart consumer. If you're not a smart consumer, that's A-okay. Let us shop. We'll just shop for you. Now let's look at some other companies here. Maybe some companies, 120. Yeah, so Lumico here, they're $10 more a month. That's $120 more a year. After 10 years, that's $1,200. After 20 years, that's $2,400. Why spend more money? Let's look at another one here. You'll be able to see all these different insurance companies on our quarter, by the way. Lincoln Heritage, they're a fine company, I guess. Their pricing's higher. It is level first day coverage. The reason their pricing's higher, they've got a program that when you pass away, they will call 2 or 3 funeral homes, and they'll supposedly shop around, kind of get the lowest rate. They may do a couple other things, but they charge a premium for that. It's more expensive. So it's $143 versus $110. So roughly $40 more a month. That's $480 a year. After 10 years, that's $4,800. So think about this. After 10 years, if you passed away, they would call a few places, make 2 or 3 phone calls, and maybe do a couple other things. Might take an hour or so. And that's going to cost you an extra $4,800 roughly. So we don't recommend overspending money on insurance. We'd rather see you keep that money in your own pocket and spend that money on yourself or your family while you're alive. And that way you've got the memories and your family's got the memories for the rest of their life too. What we do provide those, we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you can just fill that out. Who gets what goes where, and what you want your final arrangements to be, burial, cremation, just all the details that you need there. And just keep that with your insurance policy. And then that way when you pass away, your family just goes to that safe spot that you keep it. They're going to be financially protected with the insurance, and they're going to be emotionally protected with that funeral and estate planning guide, because you would have filled that out in advance, and they'd know all your wishes. All they need to do is just execute and get things done. It's just, it takes a tremendous burden off your family, and it makes it so easy on them. And they're going to know that you took care of this well in advance, and you were thinking and caring about them, when you knew they would be at a really vulnerable and emotional time. So it's a wonderful gift of love that you leave behind. So go to our website. You can fill out a quote here. We've got a special quote for our YouTube folks, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, and you can get the most discounts, best pricing. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and talk with a person. But if you want, if you've got an existing policy and you want to have us price shop it or see about adding more coverage, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy and just want the lowest pricing and first day coverage, we can help you out with that. And if you're just wanting information or some help or just anything like that, general information, we'd be happy to help you out with that too. So just, we look forward to chatting with you about this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.